I did this 136-mile, 10,500 feet of climbing training ride on Friday with a fast group. And now it's Monday, and I'm still feeling that ride. Hey cycling community, this is Steve, Grusis the Cycling Greek. I have these two seemingly desperate cycling goals. One involves USAC racing, USA Cycling Federation racing, old guy racing I call it since I'm almost 69, and the other one is an ultra distance event which is 155 miles, 15,000 feet of climbing. My problem was that the training I was doing for my ultra event was overtaking my training that I was doing for my racing because how I was configuring everything. I came up with a plan to separate the two types of trainings, and this is about the first week and a half that I've started using it. My race training has a little bit of catch up to do, not much, or at least I hope not much. I haven't done this course before, but after doing it now, this course has a lot of undulations in it and one climb. I rushed home from work, got on the bike, got on Zwift, and my warm-up was just good enough. Unfortunately, we didn't start like a bat out of hell. That was fortuitous for me because, as I mentioned earlier, my legs were feeling the workout on Friday. In order to help compensate for those sore legs, I wanted to make sure that I was in as lighted gear as possible. I figured if I used too big a gear too often, and often was not going to be really a big amount of time, then I was going to be off the back before I knew it. Currently, we are on one of the gazillion undulations on this course. You'll notice on the uphill portions that I'm keeping my cadence high. I can't afford to big gear this. It's only been a few minutes, but you'll notice that I'm keeping myself toward the front. Reason being that I need some buffer in case I do have some trouble, I can fall back on the pack. So let's talk about the pack. We start off with 48 riders, and you'll notice when the graphics in the upper right hand corner of the insert map that we have a split. I'm not sure how many there are in each of the groups, but I'm thinking we have a half, maybe a little over half. Jumping ahead just a little bit, it looks like we're going over another undulation, but this one doesn't quit. You can look at the gradient percentage in the upper right-hand corner within that insert map. Now I'm starting to get a little stressed. There's an attack off the front. I am having to shift to a bigger gear in order to produce more power, but because of my situation, that's going to cost me too. We get over the top. I got to keep the gas on because we're all lined out. You can tell by the line and how we're splitting by looking at that little insert map. I'm still toward the front. I just don't want a big gap opening up in front of me. If there's a selection made, in other words, if the group gets whittled down, I want to be on the good side of the whittle. And thankfully, looks like I am. Again, jumping ahead a little bit, we have left the undulations and we are on a climb. So we are about 24 in our group. So that means there's 24 behind us, even split. I see a couple of riders have made an attack. I'm figuring other people are going to try and go with them, so I decide I can't let this go. I am thinking that whoever's together at the top of the climb, that is going to be the final selection. We still have almost 80% of the race to go. Looking at my face and looking at the power above, I've reached my limit. I'm hoping my legs come back soon so I can grab a wheel and then get back up to make this final selection. There's maybe 7 up the road. There's more that are going by me. My power's still not coming back. This is not looking good. I'm hoping I'm going to grab a wheel. I'm still hoping. Power starts to come back, but now there's a gap in front of me. We are still climbing. There's about 4 people that are behind me within 3 seconds, and then there's a 9-second gap and 10-second gap. That tells me I don't have too many more wheels to lose. The top is coming soon. I need to connect with those guys up there. If I can maintain 300 watts, maybe, just maybe. And there's the banner. Another problem presents itself. My heart rate is about 150. My max is 164. It's now 151, 152. And these guys are still drilling it on the downhill. I am pretty confident saying that if I didn't do that big training ride on Friday, I'd be up with that group right now and I'd be in the final selection. Of course, that's easy to say. I have now jumped to just over 2.5 kilometers to go, about 1.6 miles. So I'd been off by myself. I never did catch those guys. I was caught by some people. We caught a couple other individuals that had fallen off that main group. There are 6 in our group ranging from 19th place to 24th place. Someone's trying to sneak off the front, and so we're all lined out. I'm not much of a sprinter, and I tend to jump, let's say, at 1 kilometer to go. However, I just don't have confidence today. Now, this is interesting. We're lined out, the speed's up, they slow down, and then I slow down when I start to go toward the front, and I was thinking, this would have been a good point for me to attack, even with the legs that I had today, because if I was caught, I could theoretically recover on their wheels. Damn my legs, full speed ahead. So now I'm thinking, where can I attack? We're still on a downhill, so I don't have a lot of confidence in attacking on a downhill and being able to stay away from these guys. I'm hoping this flattens out and soon so that I can put in an attack. I position myself toward the back, and now I just wait. We're approaching 1K to go, and little did I realize that we are actually on a 1% incline and on the flats. When I finally do realize it, then I start to go. I'm at the back, I'm picking up the speed, don't have a lot of power, but I'm fully committed. So now what I'm doing is I'm looking at the graphics on the right hand side to see if there's a gap that's developing behind me. I look at some of the numbers behind me and I do see that somebody is on my wheel, but the rest of them are starting to gap off. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Bender, the guy that's with me, starts to go in the front. Now I have to pick up the speed because I was hoping to jump on his wheel, but man, he's got a lot more power than I do. Across the sprint marker, I have 0.2 miles to go. I need to do 325, 350 watts to stay away from those guys behind me, but I can't do that. There goes one. There goes another. I'm running out of gas. There goes the third guy. Last place in our group was 24th place, and 24th place is me. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got something of value from it. As always, remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.